Hello, everyone. I trust that you are having a wonderful afternoon. I am just here on a quick live just to share something in my thoughts, just to speak about the one mistake I see people making, or even me myself. I've been a victim of this. One big communication mistake that we make, and I just want us to have a chat about it. And if you are someone who would like to improve your communication, improve the way people respond to you, improve the way you speak to people, share and like this video. If you are joining me live, please just say hi in the comments. If you are joining in the future, also just like and share this with the people you love and the people you feel like you need to increase your communication with them. You need to increase the way you communicate with them. So communication is always a two-way street. It's someone is giving and one is receiving. So one is talking and one is listening. And sometimes the listener always listens to respond rather than to understand. When you are in a conversation with someone, you're already thinking, what must I say next? How do I defend myself? Why is she saying what she's saying? And not giving the speaker an opportunity to speak and an opportunity to listen, to clearly articulate their thought or what it is that they want to relay over to you. So when you are finding yourself in difficult conversations, especially difficult conversations that are uncomfortable, conversations that really challenge you, it is important for you to listen to what the other person is saying. Listening not to respond, but listening to understand. Listening to understand their point of view, listening to hear what it is they are saying. So today I just want you to remember when you had a recent or in the past a conversation with someone. It could be a relationship, a husband, a wife, your child, at the workplace that was difficult. How did you respond? And the how are you responding to conversations says a lot about you. So think of it. Are you listening to understand, or are you listening to respond? Are you listening to get feedback? Or are you listening to just, to defend yourself all the time? And the best communicators are people who have mastered the skill of listening, mastered the skill to not interrupt people when they are talking. And I am always guilty of this. You just get a thought and hear what someone is saying, and you just rushing to complete that thought that they are saying. But if you really want to get a good understanding of what a person is saying to you, it is better for you to listen to the entirety of their thought process or their sentence, and then give feedback on that. What does this do? It helps strengthen your relationships. It makes you feel understood, and it makes the person you are speaking to being understood. Because if you lead by listening and listening to understand, the other person also knows that they can communicate with you in a way of understanding, in a way that they also understand what it is that you guys are talking about. The most important mistake or mishap that happens in communication, if you are listening to respond and not to understand, is that sometimes you feel unheard, and the other person that you are communicating feels unheard, they feel unseen, and that makes them, just know that they are unable to open up to you. So my advice I want to challenge you in your next conversation that you are going to have. try to listen more, to understand what the person is saying rather than to respond. Listen to understand and give feedback that comes from a place of understanding and not a place of judgment or a place of defending yourself or a place of where you feel like you now have to, respond because, whatever the person is saying is making you feel uncomfortable. The best conversations I had with people who listen to one another. The best conversations are there when people really feel seen. If your child comes to you and has a problem and you don't criticize or judge them for the problem that they are having, they feel seen, and that opens up the relationship. It makes the relationship to be more solid. It makes the relationship to be more open, that your child knows that they can come to you in any circumstances that is needed. And also with your spouse, also in the workplace, sometimes we face difficult things where you need to take accountability for something that you've done wrong, or something that you promised you'll do and you couldn't do it. It is life. We all make mistakes and we all, fall short. But it is important to rectify it in a state of repair where you are taking accountability, taking responsibility and saying, listen, I know I made a mistake here and this is what I'm going to do to rectify it. So the challenge in your next conversation, be aware of how you are communicating. Be aware of what you are thinking when someone is talking to you. What are you thinking in terms of how you would want to respond, or how are you going to respond? And make sure that you respond from a place of understanding rather than a place of defense. Don't come and, always want to defend or always want to have an answer. Just listen. Listening is a skill, and it's a skill that can be developed, but it's an important skill if you want to develop your communication skills. If you like this video, please share a heart. Like it and share it with someone that you maybe recently had a conversation with. Tell me in the comments, how did it go? Tell me what it was about, or not what it was about, but if you are resonating with what I'm saying, that when you are listening to understand and not listen to respond, that will make you 10 times better a communicator, and it will help your relationships ultimately. It will help your business. It will help the way you sell yourself, the way you present yourself, and the way people respond to you as well. So yeah, thank you so much for joining this live. Please like, please share, please follow me on all social media. And yeah, let's have the conversations. Let's talk about how we can improve our communication, because communication is a vital skill. It's a skill that if you do not practice it or cultivate it, you will find yourself not being able to close those deals, not being able to, have a good relationship, have good understanding amongst your friends and your relationships ultimately. Communication is the center of each and every single thing that you need to sell or you need to do in this life. You need to know how to communicate, and you start by improving your listening skills, listening to understand and not listening to respond. That's it. Thank you so much for those who are joining me live, for the hearts. Thank you so much for the love that you are showing. I will see you in my next live. And better communication. Drop a comment and a like and share this with someone you love. Goodbye.